My cheating ex has no clue I discovered her affair. I ghosted her suddenly and without warning. Soon-to-be ex doesn't know I caught her cheating. Not sure why she keeps me around. My girlfriend of 3 years has been cheating on me for months. I confirmed evidence in video, photos, and messages. She has 2 relationships, 2 boyfriends. I'm not sure if the other guy knows either. I'm not hurt or angry. It's only been a week since knowing, and she suspects nothing and treats me as a boyfriend. There's one thing we are tied into right now financially, and I'm trying to get out of it, which will take time. Her family knows about the other guy and hid him from me. I'm just trying to understand why she hasn't left me. I don't owe her anything and she owes me nothing. She doesn't receive money from me or vice versa. All I provide is the boyfriend part. There's no point in being in a relationship with her, and yet she lies to me through her teeth to continue the relationship as if I'm the only guy. I don't understand why she needs me. Advice needed. Ask for advice, and you'll get it. First up, look for the term cake eaters. You will have your answer. Next piece of advice, you don't think that she gets some kind of joy thinking that she's outsmarting you and maybe the other guy too? Go replied, I believe so. I can't find any other reason besides her being selfish and enjoying the non-consensual double boyfriend idea. Someone else adds, she's trying to keep you as a backup plan if things don't work out while she tries to find something better. She wants to explore her options, but wants to make sure that she still has you, which is not fair to you at all. I say start cutting her out of your life and stop doing any of the things you do for her. Make plans without her. Or stop doing the little things. Don't tell her about your day, don't be a jerk, but don't show that you care about her anymore. Remove her from your life, and same for her family. Anything you've done for her, if possible, undo it. They're not worth your effort. Ah, yeah, there's truth to the comments here, OP. Some cheaters get a kick out of the secrecy. Cheaters think they're so smart. It's all about the ego boost they need to feed. OS update. This post is an update on my previous post since there were comments on an update. Yes, I did confront her, but I didn't tell her that I knew. Instead, I asked her questions about if she loved me, if she would ever hurt me, etc. I did it in a way where she wouldn't notice, and she didn't at the moment. I even asked her about showing some photos at these events where the other boyfriend was at, and she did, but not from the gallery or photo app, just the pictures she would want me to see. Zero hesitation. She kept lying but said something that stuck to me. She said I deserve better out of nowhere, and I asked if I deserve better, should I leave? She said no, you deserve better, but I don't want you to leave. I recorded half of the conversation. I kissed her on the cheek. I always kissed her on the mouth, and she noticed I was off just from this. But I said I was sick. Asked her to fix this financial situation. I already fixed it, not tied to her anymore, and told her to let me know when she got home. She didn't, and I blocked her from there on everything. There was no point for me to confront her. She would have lied more, gaslit me, or worse, got angry at me. She knew what she was doing and still wanted me around. She has no heart and admitted she was selfish, hid things, and thought all men are trash, which she said herself. She considered herself a feminist that day, but she isn't like this. I believe she fought with her other boyfriend, so she was upset since I did some last-minute scooping on social media before blocking. Funny how she comes to me. I'm not hurt nor heartbroken. This has not changed my opinion on women and relationships. It was long-term relationships who I did want to progress. However, I'm happy that I found out before anything. All her actions are red flags. Cover-ups made sense to why sometimes I felt miserable and misunderstood. I feel relieved that I was not wrong in how my gut felt sometimes with her. She gave me bad energy while I always carried positive energy. I learned a lot and picked up a quote that made sense. The reality is, if people want to cheat, they're going to cheat, and there's nothing you can do about it. Weak, insecure, and disloyal people cheat. Strong, confident, loyal, and healthy people communicate like adults to work things out when their needs aren't being met, or they're unhappy. Coach Corey Wayne. She never communicated her issues, I did. I hope this post may be a helpful tip or information for any of you, and I wish you the best of luck. Let's see what the community thinks. First up, it's funny how the old ghost and walk away and never look back works so well with cheaters, because no matter how you look at it, they know exactly why they got ghosted. The realization will hit them when they find nothing goes through. The calls go straight to no answer, and they can't see your socials anymore. It's all the message that they need, and you know the first thought through their head will be, oh. Confronting is for Hallmark movies and soppy internet memes. When someone knows what they have done, the betrayed owe it to themselves to just simply ghost, walk away, and never look back. It's the best option. Someone else adds, no need to confront her, but you should let the other guy know. He deserves the agency to make decisions based on the truth, just the same as you did. The OP replies, I think he knew. His goal was to take him from her. What I captured and saw, however, he didn't know she was still with, officially me, while dating him officially and becoming exclusive. She didn't want to lose both sides. I have zero intention of letting him. No, he will find out, and he will cause problems for her. Another user adds, the instant she told you that you deserve better was your opening to ask her why she is saying that. She might have broken in that instant, honestly. But you did not take the opportunity she was giving you. You picked the wrong partner once again, and it will keep happening until you finally learn to find out who it really is you're dating. Trust is mostly fine, but way better with simply verifying if it is actually true or not. I bet she has cheated in the past, and it is who she has always been and done. Ghosting her was exactly the thing to do. Now work on fixing your broken partner picker. The OP replies, nope, I did ask her why she said that, and I got the same exact thing that I expected to hear, a lie. I don't have to reference it here since it's not important. I did choose the wrong girl to be with. I said there were red flags and things I noticed, to which I asked her, and I always got a response. She knew what she was doing, and I'm sure she's done this in the past. Gladly, she never asked for money. Small favors, but never anything big. Everything from romance to sex life was normal, as she described. Happy and comfortable. We were not sexist or fighting. It was a basic relationship that I missed seeing the signs of oddity. My gut knew, but my brain said wait and see. Now I know and will vet my partners properly after this experience. Oh, yep, there it is. She says she thinks all men are trash, so right away she thinks she can outsmart you. She definitely gets a kick out of causing pain. She's a sick person who needs to hurt other people to make herself feel better. Simple as that. I'm sorry, OP, you definitely deserve better. What do you think? Up next, some serious daddy issues. I might not be my dad's child. I don't know if this is allowed here, but I could really use some advice from this community. Background: my mom, at the very least, was emotionally cheating on my father for at least 25 years. Of my 3 biological siblings, I look odd to the point that an ex of mine said, "You're probably a milkman's baby, because my features are so drastically different than my siblings." My mom has always said that it's because I look like my great-grandmother on my grandfather's side. My mom left my dad, blaming him in entirety for her misery around 2019, saying she regretted all 28 years of their relationship. That's when they had started dating. My dad asked if she regretted having had their kids, me, and my siblings, and she didn't respond. She later invited me out to a lunch date and explained herself to me, telling me things that my dad had previously told me in confidence because he needed someone to talk to, as he doesn't have many friends. She lied about trying to get him to go to counseling, lied about having tried to talk things through, lied about warning him when she left him. She was already dating her ex of 30 years prior and lied to us about it. She stayed close friends with him, the ex, and his son because his wife cheated on him with a very popular musician celebrity that she left him for and stayed until said celebrity died. During that time, the ex was living with us and his young son, I think, before I was born, and my dad was working for months at a time overseas. I know for a fact that they often were alone together because his son reached out to me when he found out that our parents had gotten back together and told me that he had a horrible realization that he could remember times where they'd be alone together during that time. FRA me. The divorce process between his parents was vile, to say the least. His mom used the celebrity money to endlessly fight his dad for 100% custody until my mom's ex, was flat out broke and had to give up. I found out that I actually arrived a month late and that the ex has always thought of me as the daughter he never had, even gave me his first electric guitar. I didn't think about it too much when I was 13 and he gave it to me, but now that I'm an adult, it's so weird that he'd give me his first guitar. Current issue: there are so many red flags that I haven't gotten to, but at a recent doctor's visit, I found out that my blood type was never on file. Which could really only happen if my mom hadn't added it to my records when she had me swapped to my current doctor, as they don't have my childhood records. I asked my mom what my blood type was, and she said she didn't know. She never had my blood tested. My mom's blood type is O, meaning that it would be standard practice for my blood to be tested at birth. Another red flag to this was that my mom banned me from getting my ancestry done. She said it was because my older sister had already done it and that was good enough, even though siblings can have drastically different DNA profiles. I'm absolutely terrified that I'll find out that my dad isn't really my bio dad. I love him to death, and he's already been through so much the past 3 years because of my mom. I can't just ask my mom because she'll never give me the truth. In every situation, she's always the victim. I want to tell my dad all of this, but he's still having a hard time grappling with the fact that my mom has never been a good person, and had been using him since day one for his money. If we find out that my dad isn't my bio dad, should I tell him? I'm worried about how it will affect him since his world has already been turned upside down so many times. And I'm worried that he won't want a relationship with me or resent me. I've been avoiding this for a while and I'm wondering if I should just bother and leave it as is and not get my blood tested. I'm sorry, OP, this is some heavy information. You absolutely should tell him. OP, clearly your mother is hiding something. You and your dad have a right to know what your mother has been hiding all these years. It will just solidify the fact that your mother is a horrible person. Update. I've decided that I will be getting my blood tested and my DNA tested on the same day in about a month or two. If the results of the tests come back and my mom did have more than just an emotional affair like she claims, I will call my dad and inform him as soon as possible, which may not be as quickly as I get my results, as he's out of the country in a different time zone for work, as he was for most of my parents' relationship. I'm still terrified out of my mind what the possible results could mean for my family, especially for my dad. If my suspicions are correct, my dad has been in therapy since before my parents were separated. But I worry that's not enough. Part of me keeps telling me to wait longer to get the test done, but I think if I do this later in life, it'll end up pulling open an old scar and just making a whole new wound. A bit of a rant, I recently found out that my parents' divorce is now finalized as of this year. My mom was dancing around, leading my dad on that she might still change her mind about wanting the divorce for years, which kept him clinging to that hope. I found out more about the things she's done that's caused my dad damage, and he still loves her and hangs on to hope that one day she might come back. I know that even though she swears she didn't cheat physically, I'm sure she at the very least conspired with her ex that she would leave my dad and get back together with him. The separation and divorce came less than a month after my mom took a trip with her ex to a concert. She swears nothing happened, but she's lied to get her way since I was young, and she keeps singing this tune even though my dad says he believes her and no one has questioned her on it. I pretend I'm not, but I'm so angry and heartbroken. I don't get why she can't just give everyone, including herself, peace of mind and give her family the whole truth so that we can move on. Let's get a reaction from the community. It goes like this: I hope you minimize contact with your mother. She sounds like a terrible human being and doesn't even realize how deep the trauma extends to her children. You will struggle having your own healthy and happy relationships due to how awful your mother was because this is the example you see. No matter how self-aware, subconsciously it affects you and will cause you to struggle too. The LP replies, my mom and I have had a rough relationship from the get-go. This is really just the cherry on top. I'll be going no contact with her by the time I have children because she's abusive on a lot of levels, and I don't want her anywhere near my children. She has tried to get me to cheat on, and then leave my significant other for someone 6 years older with money. So guess who isn't getting an invite to our wedding next year? It's sad to know that your father still loves your mother despite everything she has done to him. Hopefully, whatever comes from this DNA test will allow you the closure that you need. Update. Hi, it's been a while. A lot has happened in my life since my last update. Things got busier and busier in life. I had to put off the test, and then some really crappy things happened and then some sweet. I originally intended to get a DNA test, but I chickened out. I just couldn't and can't do it. And I most certainly can't do it now. For the small chance that I'm not his biological child, I can't pull him through that. My dad told me that while digging through an old computer, he came across an old file that couldn't be opened due to the age of it. So he downloaded a program that allowed him to open the file and was surprised to see that there were emails, love letters, poems that she had written to the man she left him for. These files date back to the mid-90s, early 2000s, the time frame between my sister, my dad's first child, and sometime after my birth, the last child born. In these letters, he didn't divulge the content directed towards her ex, and honestly, I don't want to know. She's talking about how sterile of a marriage she was in, how my dad didn't actually love her, how she didn't actually love him, wondering why she was with him, that she had to be fake around him, that she couldn't upset him, so she had to pretend to be someone else, that she was miserable and unhappy, that she was staying with him for the kids, etc. My dad is now completely out of love with her, but he is now completely broken. He is not depressive, luckily, but I believe his heart is completely shattered. Me and my siblings' entire childhood, every happy moment we had as a family, is now tainted by the idea that she was miserable the whole time. That everything he thought was happy was actually awful and resented. These letters pretty much confirmed that she was with him for money and stability, and after doing some math, it seems that she and her ex, the man she left him for, had only been broken up for a few months before she and my dad had met. Everything he thought he knew was flipped on its head. Everything about this has reignited a rage in my heart. My dad has already gone through so much, I don't want to put him through further devastation. My dad, after finding these files, printed them and gave them to her in an envelope and attached a letter to it, and told her not to speak to nor contact him ever again. He has since started avoiding her like the rotten soul she is. She, as per usual, is pretending nothing happened, that she has done no wrong. I called a friend and talked to him about doing the test. He is my closest friend, I consider him family. He said that knowing me, if I do this test and I find out my dad isn't biologically my dad, that it will destroy me. In the end, it will only cause more pain. He's right. My dad has already been dealt a critical blow. I can't contribute to his pain further. She stole his future, and passed from him and tainted both. If I get a test just for the sake of knowing, my family will still find out about it, as we are always actively searching for missing family on DNA databases. I don't care about what kind of backlash that woman would get if that news came out. F her, let her finally suffer the consequences, but I don't think my dad could handle it well. It may not be my place to say that he can't handle it. I don't know if my own heart could take seeing him in more pain. Just thinking about me and my siblings' childhood happy memories is painful enough for him. While I know, regardless of if he is in fact not my biological father, that at the end of the day, he is still my dad and always will be, I don't want to add that pain onto his heart. I feel it may be selfish of me to not do this test, but I ultimately believe that it is for the best. I do see similarities in his face and mine between his family members and mine. While I do not look at all like my siblings, it's still possible. Not surprising, she is also no longer with the ex, and has seen a new man that she refuses to call her boyfriend, as she is too old to have a boyfriend. I think that woman is completely dead in my heart now. For some reason, for years I've been holding on to this microscopic hope that someday she will redeem herself and be a real mother. That hope is illusional, I know, but it was there, and I think it's finally gone. She's dead to me, but I'm so incredibly angry about how she has completely broken my dad. He didn't deserve any of this pain, and there's nothing I can do about it. In conclusion of all of this, I am his daughter. Whether or not he is biologically my dad, I believe that in this world we choose our family, and genetics do not earn your right to be one's family. Family is who you would shed blood for, and so my blood is fundamentally his blood. I'm hoping that this painful chapter of my life can finally close. I've just had a major life change. My dad is in town helping me. I intend to spend more time with my dad. Hopefully we can make new memories without her, and his retirement years won't be overshadowed by her and her narcissism. I hope my family can heal. You're absolutely right, OP. Blood or not, it doesn't matter. He is your father and he always will be. He raised you and he loves you. That's all that matters. I'm sorry your mother has put you both through the ringer. Here's to the healing journey ahead. What would you do? Would you have gotten the test? Why or why not? Thank you for joining us today. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Bye for now.